Whoa there, Space Cowboy. Brokeback Bebop is a podcast with explicit content intended only for mature bounty hunters. Listener discretion is advised. Listen to all 40 steamy sessions of the show right now by supporting Brokeback Bebop at patreon.com/can'tdisappointpodcast.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. I don't know.
I like that.
Okay.
My headphones were turned up a fair amount, and that sounded great.
Hi, everybody out there in the cosmos, in the Wandas, in the galaxies beyond. Welcome to another.
Is Juan
week
Decimo a racist
of
character?
Brokeback Bebop. Is he the suave fairy?
Yeah.
Please, let's talk about Fairly Odd Parents this whole time.
Can we talk about how much a piece of shit Butch Hartman is?
Is Juan Decimo racist? Is he supposed to be like European, like Fabio kind of thing?
He's I thought he was Hispanic, but he might be like.
But I feel like he's supposed to be like Fabio. I don't know if Fabio is supposed to be. I don't think.
Well, Fabio was a white man with long curly blonde hair.
But I feel like I don't know. Is he racist? Write us in. Let us know.
Yeah. Is he offensive at all? I feel like they only draw him in a positive light.
His name was Juan Decimo?
Yeah.
Huh. Is Jurgen? Is he racist too?
I don't know. I'm not Eastern European.
What is Arnold Schwarzenegger?
He's
European? Austrian. Does that count as a race? Welcome to
play.
Brokeback Bebop, everybody. We're here to talk about another week of Cowboy Bebop, and you know to expect by now nothing but the utmost seriousness and analytical edge that we bring every time. You ready to dive in?
Let's do it, man? Zach. I'm good. How are you? How are you doing,
I'm good.
Zach?
I already asked you. Why? You're deflecting my question.
I'm good.
We haven't talked since the last time we recorded something 4 days ago or whatever.
Yeah. What's new? How was your weekend?
Absolutely nothing. There is not a chance anymore that it's like, so what's up with you, man? I've been working and now we're doing this. Sorry to start the podcast, guys. Have I been watching anything? Not really even watching anything that good right now. Watching the final season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, wow. How is it?
It went on a few years too long. It's fine.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I like that show. I'd like to watch through it all at some point. I think Danny would really like it.
It's one of those things where it just doesn't... I mean, the glass has been shattered with, like, the good cop prototype for a long time, but especially now. And in its last season, it kind of tries to deal with it a little bit to, like, mixed results. Yeah. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. What I want to talk about, Steven, is drugs, because we're here to talk about...
fuck what I'm watching or reading.
Well, that's kind of... It's a 30-minute show, you know. It is kind of what I was thinking. What are you... Tell me about how you're reading the Magic Tree House. Tell me about which Spiderwick Chronicle you're on currently.
I fucking love the Spiderwick Chronicle books. Movie was fine.
What are you reading? You're reading?
Yeah, I read manga, Zach.
Yeah.
I'm reading Vinland Saga right now, and it's fucking incredible.
Is it about wine?
It's about, you would think, it's actually about, like, Vikings.
Okay.
And it's pretty historically, I don't want to say historically accurate, but it's historically entwined, so it takes place, like, during the actual,
historical fiction.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay.
It's, like, awesome. It's gritty, it's dark, but also it has surprised me a couple of times, which doesn't happen a whole lot in anime and manga for me these days, because a lot of tropes get repeated, but I really enjoy it. There's an anime... the second season just got announced, and I haven't watched the anime yet. I've only read it, so I'm excited to watch.
What's interesting to me with the anime manga fandom, I feel like it's the only like medium of content where people will sign up to like any setup, any story, any background, anything purely because it is anime or manga versus
it's true.
Like I don't know. You're not necessarily going to watch a Viking TV show just because you love TV shows.
It's true.
Well, I don't. Does that make sense to me?
No, it does, because
with,
Zach, I'll tell you, I haven't watched The Northman. I haven't watched Vikings. I love Viking shit, but Vinland Saga was an easy sell for me to spend $20 per book on hardcover, manga for it. Yeah, because I am bought in on it. It's wild.
It is interesting. I don't know.
I watched a show, Zach, about a high school girls rock climbing team.
Believe this. I don't think anime has anything to do with that. I think you just Googled it, and it just so happened to be an anime. Like, oh yeah, killed 2 birds. I was looking for one anyway.
It was better than I thought it was going to be.
I bet it was great.
Animation was top tier. It was basically about this girl who was really good at phone puzzle games. She won competitions and shit. And then she saw someone, she tried rock climbing for some reason. And because she was great at solving puzzles, for some reason she could solve a rock wall and get up it really fast in tight shorts.
And it's good?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was more entertaining than it should have been.
Steven and I kind of postulated recently the idea of doing after we're done with Cowboy Bebop, doing a more infrequent podcast where it's just one episode of something weird that Steven picks out. And if it's stuff like that, just for shock value, I think that'd be kind of fun. So
I have
tell us if
8 in the chamber, especially, and I have at least 4 that I specifically want you to see.
Yeah. Am I gonna have to watch animals fuck each other and
I'm not gonna make you watch
tickle.
Beastars, because Beastars is actually great, but I will make you watch Kaijo, which is
butt fighting.
The butt fighting. Yeah, I love the butt fighting one. It was awesome.
I bet you do. Well,
it was hilarious.
Of course you do. It's butts.
Well, they can use their boobs too.
I'm still not quite won
if they
over
wanna.
On the wanting to have sex with the 2D animated thing yet.
I think there's a difference between saying, wow, that's a drawing.
Sure.
That if it were a real person, that'd be really hot.
Sure,
and
but I don't think
I'm gonna masturbate to a drawing. It's 2 different things.
I don't think there's that much going on in your thought process when it happens, though. I don't think you're by the act of deduction, if this were real, I think you're So anyway, let's talk about episode 17. It is the Mushroom Samba. This episode was storyboarded by Shinichiro Watanabe. It was directed by Kunihiro Mori, and it was co-written by Michiko Yokote and Shinichiro Watanabe. In Japan, the earliest known air date is February 20th, 1999, and in the U.S., October 29th, 2001. Let's open it up. This is Brokeback Bebop. Everything flies here. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about bad mushrooms.
Let's talk about bad mushrooms.
Some bad mushrooms. If you catch the drift of the episode, which I'm sure you do. Is that something that you have any experience with?
I have. I've had the bad mushrooms a couple of times.
A couple of times.
And I had really positive experiences both times. The first one, I had a little bit, and I hung out, listened to music, and looked at a tapestry and enjoyed. I think I listened to Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band that night, hanging out.
Had to be a basic.
Yeah. And then the second time that I had the bad mushrooms, I took a lot more, and it was really fun. I went with
a lot more.
Double the amount of the first time.
Okay.
Actually, no, double and a half of the first time. Because the first time it was nice, but I wanted more.
Sure.
So I was I'll take more.
Well, it's always tricky because you don't know exactly what you're getting. What your batch is. There are ones that are
And that's definitely not something I'm super knowledgeable about, the science behind.
Yeah.
But the second time was really fun. I was a lot more tripping balls. And we decided to go to a Chinese food buffet. Both of us tripping balls.
I feel like in a situation like that, the last thing I've ever wanted to do is eat a bunch of food.
I don't know why, but we were in the mood. So
did you go to Yummy in Muncie?
Okay, so not Yummy. We went to King's. We were gonna treat ourselves.
I haven't been there.
It's fancier. I like Yummy better. I'll say that. But the food at King's might be better.
Okay. Well, that's not a. I mean, the quality of food isn't exactly what makes Yummy.
So I like Yummy.
They've got everything, and it's $6
they have
to get in the door.
fucking barbecue ribs that are actually tasty.
Would you like a pizza? Would you like?
Do you want frog legs with that tater tot? But we went to the Chinese food restaurant, and for some reason, the entire like place seemed like the tinting and like sounding and everything was exactly like an episode of Master of None. Like just the lighting, and I was like, this is weird. I feel like I'm in a Netflix original show. Like everything was in HD. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. And I ate my meal. I enjoyed it. There were these two bad little kids running around, though. And their mom wasn't really watching them. And they, like, kept, like, fucking with the food. And, like, they were, like, messing with the ice cream. And I wanted some ice cream, but I couldn't get any because they were, like, over there being bad. And so I already didn't like them.
Well, you should have gone up and approached them.
Well, just
like,
wait.
I need you
I'm
to
getting
let me
to
do
that.
this. Okay.
You don't know how close you are to the truth, Zach. So the night progresses. We ate our food, had a good time.
How
like,
much
I'm
time
balls.
did it feel like you were there for hours?
It's a Netflix original series, Zach. It was 47 minutes tight.
Is this like a My Dinner with Andre type situation where it's 6 1-hour episodes of you sitting in the fancier version of Yummy?
So we eat, and I don't think we were there a super long time. Like I think we ate pretty quickly. The vibe was nice, but we were ready to go. Yeah. So we paid.
Well, that's the thing with stuff like that is you can't really confine yourself because sometimes it's at any given second you're like it's time to leave
it's
this
time
now.
to go. Yeah. So munched on my food, paid, and then my friend had gotten out of the restaurant before me because he was driving, so he went to go get the car as I was walking out. Now enter the two bad kids again, who, you know how, like, every restaurant, it's not just, like, a door and you're inside the restaurant. It's, like, a door and then it's, like, another door and you're in the restaurant.
There's, like, a miniature room that always smells like feet.
Exactly.
And
well, those kids were in that
restaurant.
miniature room, and they were right in front of the real exit door playing, and I was ready to go. I was really ready to go. And so I walked out, and I said, move, please! And then I ran through the two kids and ran outside. And then the car that my friend was in, he was like, I think he was a little bit less trippy than I was. And so he like started to drive away a little bit to like mess with me. And I did not like that.
What did you do?
I ran and screamed and caught up and got in the car. I screamed.
Well, here's the thing though. I kind of feel like because a lot of it is in your head and like sensory type stuff. I feel like you probably were just like, move, please, to the kids.
Oh, I yelled. I yelled at those kids.
You're certain?
It was like literally like that I think you should leave skit where he was like, move, and then was like, did I do that? Except I was just like,
hold that door.
And then I laughed so hard when I got in the car that I just
bet.
like couldn't stop crying. It was hilarious. Yeah. It was a fun time. I'm gonna be doing them again soon.
Whoa.
For my birthday.
Okay. Are you gonna go or do anything special along with it?
I'm gonna have a couple friends are coming over, and we're gonna hang out and enjoy. And Danny's gonna babysit me.
It's gonna be a group situation or just you?
Me and two others.
Cool. Well, that's exciting. I have only done it once, and it was a weird experience. Not really because of how I felt, even though like everything was really intense, but more because my friend who I did it with went kind of crazy and ended up like babbling in another room the whole time and
oh my God,
peed all over my floor. And
I didn't know that part.
Really? And it was a really bad experience. I could go into it. It's not. I don't want to make. I mean, he just reacted to it weird, which made us all react to it weird. And I'm like aware of and scared of the power that these types of drugs can hold, and I'm both endlessly curious and maybe trying it again, and really, really against the idea of having a bad time.
I don't know how much we talked about it on any of the podcasts that we do, but you recently were around someone that had a not so great experience with psychedelics, which
different drug,
different drug, but that is always something.
I've had stuff that makes me like nervous about it, but a lot of that's just me. Let's move on. Now we're getting into a little too much. So we've tasted the bad much. How did you eat it?
Both times it was crushed up into a shot with lemon juice.
Into a shot of alcohol?
No, like just a shot of lemon juice with chopped up mushroom.
Because the acidic lemony stuff is supposed to
activate it faster or something like that.
Well, I've heard that a podcast that I listen to, he really swears by like you crush it up in a really fine powder and you like eat the powder.
Nice.
Like just doing it that way, like absorbing it in a fine powder.
I know someone that makes like mushroom chocolates, so I might try that. Like they're like baked into chocolate.
The time I did it, we were so broke. The reason we did it with the buddy that freaked out, he was the one that had $50 he bought in the mushrooms, and we all did the mushrooms. So I ate it like on a tortilla with some peanut butter.
Nice.
It was fine. I think we took a little too much. That's another thing. I don't know how much
How
you're
much you're
supposed
supposed to take?
Cowboy Bebop. This episode is also
Cowboy
about
Bebop.
bad mushrooms, and we could easily not talk about it the whole time. And I want to because I actually like this episode. Let's do some
I do
trivia.
too.
I've got 2 questions.
I've got 3 for you.
Okay, then you go first.
How long ago did the rations expire, and who ate them?
Oh, no. These rations were the last of the last. I don't remember them saying when they expired or who ate them.
Yeah.
I remember Jet getting in a tiffy about who did it, who ate these, but I don't know who actually did. Was it Ed? Was that why they sent Ed to look for food?
No.
Well, I don't know.
Do you know how long ago they expired?
No.
They expired a year ago, and Faye ate them. That's why she was sick in the bathroom.
Oh, okay. That's why she was sick in the bathroom. I just thought they were all high. My first question, what's the cost of a watermelon? Easy, softball.
1,000 woolongs.
Yes.
How many woolongs do you have?
Not as many as I'd like.
Okay,
Never
fair
as
enough.
many as you'd like.
Fair enough. How much land was for sale according to the sign that Ed walked past while looking for food? That's a pretty
Oh my
shitty question of me.
God.
I'm sorry. That one's bad. I made it my question. I was like, oh, that was shitty. Because it was on the screen for longer
one of
than...
my questions. When they get hit and ran, there's the shot of them like zooming through the air way in the background, and there's like a property sign.
You
in
mean
front of it.
Western Town Tax 1271?
No, that's not. It was some. I almost made it a question, and I didn't because I'm a nice person.
Yeah.
You know that I don't know this show
I know.
like that. I was not reading shit.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't have a guess.
300 acres of land.
It's on the tip of my tongue. One more question. What is the police officer's girlfriend's name?
Ooh, that was almost my question. Started with an S. Was
Yup.
it?
Yes, it was.
Sandra?
Ooh,
Sammy?
Your first
Sarah?
Your first two letters. is on
Sanji?
point. You're thinking the
Sandeep?
wrong direction. They don't have to rhyme.
It's not Sarah.
No, you said that one already.
Stacy?
It's not.
San-
No, now
San-
you're not the right first two letters anymore. It's Sally.
Sally. Nice.
That
Well,
was
this
fun
is
for me.
on the same topic. What's the
Okay.
interrogation officer's name? Who's Sally's beau?
Oh, I don't know.
That would be Sergeant Jeffley Flank. On his desk it said Sergeant Jeffley
So
Flank.
they didn't say that out loud. It was just
No,
on this thing.
but like Jeffley
how did I
Flank was like
mess that?
squished together like it was one word, like
Sometimes
Sergeant
the
Jeffley Flank.
Translation of Japanese to English comes out like an AI tried to
Well,
write
and
it.
you wanna know why they did that? Here's what's really fucking funny.
Okay, all right.
So in Japanese, there is no letter L. There
Yeah.
is no sound that's
Sure.
L. So a lot of times in Japanese, when it's Americanized with an L, it's actually an R, is how they say it,
Just
like
read Jeffrey Frank.
Jeffrey Frank.
That's not good either.
It's not, but it's so fucking funny.
Is it Jeffrey Flank or
Jeffrey Flank, I think, would be my thought. Or is it Jeffley?
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. That's all we got time for this week on Brokeback Bebop. I hope hug your loved ones tighter tonight. You don't know when the last time you see him will be.
Yeah. Oof. You know what it's really time for, Zach? It's time for us to find out, did Zach comprehend the episode this week?
I hated that.
Who will be the baby of the year?
Oh man.
The part of the show where we find out how well Zach comprehended the episode this week. Zach, how you feeling? Did you get tripped up by this
How am I
mushroom-tastic
feeling?
episode?
I'm feeling like I want to go back in time to when I was texting you, hey, I think we should do a podcast, but for real, and choke myself to death. As far as this little construct that we've built for ourselves, that we pretend matters, wake up, sheeple. This doesn't mean shit. I feel fine.
We live in a society. Well, Zach, you have 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, well,
I opened
I
my
mean-
calculator instead. Hold on.
We're all gonna die. Really? How long do we have?
Well, luckily I've got a calculator open, so I can figure it out, Zach.
Oh,
all
man.
right.
I think you're sorely misinterpreting what a calculator can do. Okay. I'm gonna take a sip of water.
Man, mine ran out. 20 seconds on the clock, Zach.
Choke it.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna go. My car. That's my car.
Okay.
They're coming
Okay.
for me.
Okay, 20 seconds on the clock, Zach. I'm going to count down. I'm going to say go. On go, that's when I will start my timer. You will start talking. That's how this goes. That was not the go. But here we go.
Oh,
Three.
okay.
20 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Faye ate all the rations and they get hit and ran and stranded on an island. Meanwhile, Ed and Ein go off looking for food and find the hit and run person who ends up being a smuggler of illegal mushrooms. I'm gonna run out of time. Ed gets everybody stoned and then they steal mushrooms.
Stop!
They're gonna try to sell them. Damn it.
There's
a
jury,
point two-thirds
please
through
make
that.
sure that
Yeah.
you do not count, that you try to sell them from the record. Thank you.
Try to sell them. Well, no, they're gonna try to sell them.
That's
because
what
they
you
think they're worth
said.
money.
That's
Yeah.
what you said after I yelled.
Oh, okay. I thought
Stop.
you were saying it wasn't valid.
No, I'm not going to invalidate anything that comes out of your mouth, Zach. You did okay. They're not on an
Yeah.
island. They're kind of in like a western desert, but that's okay. Aren't we all on just one big island?
Yeah.
You know? So I'll give you that. You got a lot of
This
the
little island
plot.
called life.
Especially
I got
the first
stressed
half.
out halfway through. Yeah.
Yeah, you had plenty of time when you said you were going to run out of time. Like, you were on a
No.
good pace. If you had
No,
mentioned the
no.
bounty hunter or any, like,
Yeah.
that would have
Yeah.
been cool. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You didn't quite get to talk about the trips. I'll give
it's
you a
al-
C.
Okay. It's always when we're watching the episode, I think of a lot of things that I'd like to say,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not planning it, but like, oh, I'll mention that, I'll mention that. And then we start riffing and bitting and laughing, and then it's
tough.
on, and I remember like 60% of it.
Imagine
And,
doing a whole pre-show and then having to recount.
Steven, I don't care. That show's about a community college. There's no, and then Jeff double crosses this week's character that'll never matter again, or will they? I'm not telling.
Hey-o.
I don't know. It's different, okay? Look, we've got a whopping 6 or so minutes left, 8 minutes left or so. I really like this episode.
I do too.
Bring us in a little bit. Talk to us about the mushroom samba.
Zach did a pretty good job setting it up. They got no food. They get hit and run by some maniac. They crash land in this like desert, barren, western type area. Jeff and Spike are trying to fix the ship.
Jeff, you said Jeff.
Fuck me. Jet and Spike are trying to fix the ship. Faye is sick because she's the one who ate the rations that were expired, so she's in the bathroom throwing up. So Ed and Ein are on a mission to find some food. They come along.
First of all, I want to say, while we're talking through this, I love that scene where we first get the, kind of cool, might I say, urban music playing as Ein and Ed are strutting, and the animation of the mirage lights from the heat, and meanwhile Ed's movements. I don't know, it was a fun sequence.
It's great.
I like that part.
I love it. This is like one of the best done episodes I think that we've seen so far in terms of the actual like production of it. I think there's a lot of really cool sound design moments, even just the directional
couple.
sound in the beginning when they're kind of circling around the ship and you hear the sound coming like directionally. That's really cool.
Sure.
I
I'd probably
think
have to watch it one more time with headphones to totally
Yeah.
grasp that.
there's like a really iconic shot of after Ed like opens up that little nut, like with the three of them standing over them. There's a lot of like posters of that are really cool. So that was
Really?
cool to see in the show. Yeah.
That's funny.
Right? Isn't that like a funny little like inconsequential moment that Yeah, I love it. I think the music is really oh my god.
I will say I think this is my favorite episode for music that we've had so far. I don't know if it's because it's like closer to music that I actually enjoy why I like it a little. I don't know. I think it is similar but different, you know? It gives the episode a different kind of vibe, and it's a fun episode, and it kind of has a fun score to go along with it.
Well, and you saw I had a whole stank face going on during that, like,
I was not
Barry
looking at
sax
you.
solo. It
I
was
was not
incredible.
watching it.
I was jamming. Like, I think that action sequence, the action climax, like, that
Steven
song is
really
incredible.
does think he's the main character of a Netflix original series. I was not watching you perceive.
I
the
watch you
episode
watch the
we were
show.
watching. Okay, why?
I like it. I can see your reactions. I like those moments where we both look at each other.
Well, this has been terrible.
But yeah, so they encounter a watermelon stand. They walk up to the stand and say to the man running the stand, hey, you got any grapes? But in reality, they didn't have any money, so they couldn't get any grapes. Foxy Cleopatra, the bounty hunter, I don't know what her actual name was, but I love her character designs.
Yeah,
really cool. Badass.
bounty hunter after Domino, the hit and runner, and mushroom
salesman
dealer.
Yeah. They stow away with her, so they end up in the city. That's how
Not
they
enough
encounter
for
the
her.
mushroom man. Yeah, not enough. I agree.
At all.
I want more. I thought there was more, and I was upset.
Yeah,
But it
I
was great.
really like.
She's
I really
so cool.
like all that's. I like how Ed and Ein get in over their head in this situation, and we kind of see it as it relates to them.
Yeah.
Whereas they're kind of in more over their head than they realize.
There's a dude dragging
There's
around
a
a
lot
fucking
going
coffin, ready to put this
Yeah.
drug dealer in it.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen this easily. I think could have been a 2-part episode.
Yeah. I love how funny this episode is. When the coffin gets run over by the truck is hilarious.
Man,
He's
I
like,
wish
I've been
I-
dragging
Oh.
this coffin around for years.
I think my favorite moment in the entire series so far is when Ein eats the mushroom and starts hopping and squeaking and making the same little squeak and same little hop, and then the shot like leaves Ein, but you still hear the squeak in the
Yeah.
distance for a long time. I thought that was really
great.
Really, it's the first Ein moment where I was like, okay, I'm won over. Now that's actually pretty cute.
When I think Ed, I think this episode. When I think Ed and Ein together, I think this episode. It's like quintessential, like Ed being just like hilarious. Like Ed, I think I understand if Ed is annoying to some people. Like I get it. I am totally charmed by Ed all the time. I think it's adorable. I think Ed is super funny. It's like if there was a human embodiment of childlike wonder, that is Ed. And that's like, it's such like an old-timey cartoon, like the baby walking through the construction site. Like that's how Ed just goes through life, and it's fantastic.
I don't know that cartoon.
It's in old Looney Tunes when like there'd be a baby like crawling through, like the pipes like raise and lower, and the baby's just crawling, and it like is surviving all these like things like just crawling through. And meanwhile, like Wile E. Coyote's like behind him getting smashed by everything.
Man, I wish we had a little bit more time to talk about it, because there are a lot of details that this episode has that I think are so funny. Like, why does Ed need to poison all 3 of the people in the Bebop to tell if the mushrooms are bad or not? I thought that was really funny. And I want to talk, it's always, whether it's weed in a sitcom or whether it's mushrooms in this anime, the way that shows handle drugs can go one way or the other. It can be really funny and really ring true to the people that have experience with them, or it can be very square and very not how it actually is. How do you feel about this episode? Like, particularly the way that the Bebop crew acts when they're inebriated. Do you think it's kind
love
of
it. I think it's hilarious, and I think it's true because it hits everyone different. Like Spike is literally just walking on the same step, thinking he's on an endless staircase. Faye's swimming
That's
in the
pretty funny.
bathroom, and Jet's he's
talking
just loving
to
his
bonsai
gardening,
plants
yeah.
and learning the secrets of the universe. I feel like that one rings the most true. The
Yeah.
only thing that I thought was a little bit that kind of scratched that bullshit itch was Faye thinking she's like swimming and drowning. That was
Yeah,
like
sure.
a little overly silly. But for a cartoon in the 90s in Japan where we've had the conversations when they make little hints to weed. I even think this episode is way daring compared
to the other one.
how they really tiptoe around the weed in the episodes that kind of have weed, you know?
Yeah.
It's very clear if you know that that's what they're doing, but
But you wouldn't otherwise know.
I guess this episode's kind of the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
They
know.
call them, bad mushrooms, but like they're fucking
Yeah.
tripping balls.
Yeah. I want to close this out, and then we'll do the MVP, or I'll give you a moment to say anything. The first thing I remember ever seeing that was mushrooms, like as a kid, that my first exposure to it. Did you ever see the late 90s Brady Bunch movies?
Yeah.
That are like parodies of the Brady Bunch and like them trapped in the 90s or whatever. In the second one, there's like the guy that might be their real dad or something. I forget what the plot is. He like has mushrooms. And he puts them in the spaghetti, or like one of the Bradys finds them and absentmindedly puts them in the spaghetti. And then there's this whole animated sequence when they're all tripping. And I remember being a kid and being like, I like mushrooms. What the fuck is going on with these mushrooms?
Yeah. I feel like my first one had to be in like some Cartoon Network show where that was like animated and like there was like a polka dot green mushroom on a tree that like someone in Camp Laszlo or something ate, I'm sure. And like, like I'm sure it was something like that. That like I have
in a kids show. It wasn't an Adult Swim show.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe like a leaf or something. Like if it's Camp Laszlo, maybe like a berry or something.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I'm sure. I think it was like a colorful mushroom. Whatever show I'm thinking of, it was like a weird like orange polka dot
got with that a little bit.
Mushroom. Oh, they push it on Cartoon Network.
Well, before we close this,
because everyone was animals, they weren't people.
Captains of the Bebop. Is there anything from this episode that we need to hold on to? It feels pretty self-contained.
Oh, I want to talk about the Stair Frog really quick. It reminds me of my favorite.
You know, this is the stairway to heaven.
I fucking love the Stair Frog.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of my favorite Muppets song from the first season of the Muppets, sang by Kermit's nephew, not
Robin.
Scooter. Yeah, Robin. And Robin is sitting on the stairs, and it's
I don't know the Muppet
right
show
here
like that.
on the stairs. There's a stair where I sit, and it's beautiful. It makes me cry, and it's my favorite Muppet song.
I love the Muppets so much.
The Muppet Show's incredible, Zach.
Lily and I watched the first Muppet movie not that long ago, and
nice.
Man, it's just so charming. It's like I think it's some of my favorite kids' entertainment to watch as an adult. It just makes me smile. Let's close this thing out. I feel like it's a pretty almost split, unless there's anything else you wanted to highlight before we leave.
No, this
show's always scatterbrained as shit, but this has been one of the most scatterbrained we've done yet.
Especially because we actually wanted to talk about the episode more, and we ran out of time. Like this is the first.
Well, sometimes the 30 minutes takes forever to fill, and sometimes it's over in a snap. Okay, so I think it's pretty close to being split between Ed and Ein in this one, but ultimately I am gonna give it to Ed. I think I lean closest towards being annoyed with Ed when they're like screaming a bunch. There's a couple of screaming moments in this that kind of annoy me, but the animation is great. Ed's character movement cycle is all really cool. I really enjoyed all of that. A lot of funny moments. I really liked all the moments of Ed, like you said, childlike wonder, like reacting like a kid would when people are like pointing guns at them and stuff. I don't know. It makes me smile. What about you?
I love Ed this episode. I think Ed is terrific.
But it's going to the frog.
It's going to Ein because Ein did all that shit tripping balls. The whole Bebop crew was incapacitated.
Yeah, he
Meanwhile,
can handle it.
Ein handled his shit.
Yeah, he can hold it together.
He was chilling. Popping, hiccuping, but boy, did he hold his shit together.
Yeah, that was funny.
Also, I like that Ed used a fucking fart gun.
Stinky!
Stinky!
Oh, the animation of Ein coughing was also very
so cute.
Okay, well, I don't know what it is, but I think we've done it.
I think so.
This has been fun. Any last things you want to say to the crowd while we've got them? They're like, you didn't talk about the episode at all.
Yeah, I love this episode. Super fun. I might
I like it too.
Watch it again sometime very soon because I think it's great.
Yeah, I think in some ways this might be my favorite episode of the show so far.
I think it's probably the most fun.
I don't think it encapsulates the show exactly, but most fun. Yeah, it's my favorite in I enjoyed watching it way, not in like a this is the best episode of the show. I think it might be my favorite after. So far, it had been kind of the Sea Rat, or the Space Rat, or whatever episode. Was it Space Rat or Sea Rat?
Sea Rat.
I really like that one, but I think this might be my new personal favorite.
This one's great. This is like a go-to for me if I just want to watch. Like, if I have like half an hour and I just want to throw an anime on while I'm doing something, this is a go-to. So much fun.
Now we're going to talk forever. I feel like this wouldn't be the worst episode to show someone first.
I don't think so either.
Because
you get a little bit of everybody.
You get Big Shot, the bounty hunter show.
Big Shot?
Or is it something else shot? You get a little bit of that. You get a little bit of the bounty hunter stuff. You even get other bounty hunters and police forces at bay. You get a little bit of each of the characters. I think this would be a pretty decent first
I think so
episode to watch.
too.
Yeah.
So much fun.
All right. Well, next week we'll be back to talk about. What's it called? Something like a child. Speak like a child.
I think Speak Like a Child. Yeah, that sounds
I've watched
right.
the episode. It's an interesting one. More face stuff to get into.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week to talk about whatever we want to talk about and make passing references to that episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. Support this show and our podcast network at patreon.com/can'tdisappointpodcast, where starting at $5 a month, you can get immediate access to all 40 outrageous sessions of Brokeback Bebop. See you next time, Space Cowboy.